I want you to know something, that the bigger your dream is, I want you to understand the harder the grind. What I am telling you is that if you're willing to go beast mode, you can have whatever you want. I'm a living example. You can start from nothing. Start from nothing. You know the story. Mom was a teenage mom. Start with nothing. Grandma had 14 kids. Start with nothing. 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom. Mom got kicked out because she had me. Start with nothing. Start with nothing. High school dropout. Start with nothing. Homeless. 12 years to get a 4-year degree from the university. Start with nothing. If you are willing to grind, but you will not outwork me. Why? Because I realize that the bigger the dream, and I need you to see who I have up there. Notice when I said beast mode now, I'm not talking about the lion. When I talk about beast mode now, I'm talking about the ant that's very small, but that can probably lift 100 times his weight. I'm saying that some of you in this room, you might not be a lion yet. Some of you in this room, you might be an ant. You might have small beginnings. You might not have a lot of money. You might not have a lot of resources, but there's no excuse. You said, E.T., I'm not that lion. You might be the ant, and the ant has very little, but he's determined. He's strong. He has a dream and a goal, and he'll do whatever it takes. And I need you to understand that the bigger your dream is, the earlier you're going to have to get up. The longer you're going to have to stay up. The bigger your dream is, the more effort you're going to have to put in. And for those of you who raise your hand and put up 70%, you'll never see it. You'll never see it. For those of you who are 70% beast mode, 30% gazelle, that's just enough for that other person to outdo you. I told you, I want you to think about those goals. I want you to taste them. I want you to internalize it. I'm not asking you to tell me what your goals are because I'm interested in hearing everybody in the room. I couldn't possibly do anything with it. Listen, this is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you to know how close. I want you, just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. But more importantly, I want you to know when you dream your dream that there are other people who are dreaming the exact same dream. When you said to yourself, when the ball comes down, this is what I want to accomplish, you're not the only person that wants to accomplish it. And now I ask you this question: what do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What do you do when you're not the only one that wants to make $1 million in your company? You're not the only one that wants to be the president. You're not the only one that wants to be the CEO. What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them. You got to outgrind them. You got to get up earlier. You got to stay up later. You've got to execute, and you've got to go from 70 to 120. I was reading the story about the lion and gazelle, just like you. I was reading the study. I was reading it, I was studying. I would read it over again. I would study. I was examining. I would pull back and I would digest the story. I'm going over the story over and over and over and over. And I'm looking for that thing. I'm looking what makes a lion a lion. I'm looking because if I can find out what makes a lion, I can help you turn that switch on. Because we all have it. That switch is in all of us. It's in a high school dropout. That switch is in someone who was homeless and ate out of trash. That switch exists in all of us. And I knew if I could turn the switch on, and if I could teach you how to turn that switch on. And so I'm reading the story and I'm asking myself, okay, Eric, what are the similarities? And the similarities are every single day in Africa. Woo, I love it. Every single day in Africa. I love it. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference if you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, I love it. If you're a gazelle, you wake up with this notion that I must outrun the lion if I'm going to survive. Listen to me. I don't know what your business is. I don't know what you're trying to do personally, but there's something you're going to have to outrun. Every single day when you wake up, something you're gonna have to run. For some of you, it's alcohol. For some of you, it's other substances. For some of you, it's depression. For some of you, it's your past. For some of you, it's procrastination. For some of you, your inability to stick with something, to start and finish. For some of you, you can't execute. I don't know what it is, but every single day, like that gazelle, you're gonna wake up and boom, you're gonna have to run from something. That's something you're gonna have to get away from to survive. And that's all the gazelle is doing. He's running from the lion because he's trying to survive. But what's weird is that even though the lion is considered to be one of the most ferocious animals, one of the most dangerous animals, one of the kings of the kingdom, that when the sun comes up in Africa, that the lion has to do something too. Even though he's great, the gazelle's not going to come and just let him eat him up. He's going to have to chase that gazelle down. He's going to have to kill that gazelle. So when I read it, that's the similarity. That if it doesn't make a difference if you're a gazelle, it doesn't make a difference if you're a lion. If you're at the top of the game, you still got to work. If you're at the top of your game, you still have to grow. If you're at the top of your game, what I know about you, if you're at the top of your game, there's still room for improvement. You can still get bigger. You can still get better. You can still be bolder. If you are still alive, there's still room for growth. There's still room to grow and be better. And so it says it doesn't make a difference in the safari. In Africa, it does not make a difference when the sun comes up. Boom! You better get to running. And so I studied. I said, what's the difference? What's the difference? And I noticed that the gazelle is running. And I asked myself, what's the difference? And I got it. The gazelle is running. The gazelle is afraid. The gazelle understands that if it does not stop running, or if it stops running, it's going to die. But I watched it long enough, and I saw the gazelle stop, and I said, ooh, I get it. It's not being chased. It's not being pushed. It's not being prodded. And some of us in this room, if we don't have a reward, you're not self-motivated. You're not self-regulated. You don't have that thing inside of you that pushes you. That alarm clock still has to get you up. Why? Because your passion is not waking you up. Your passion's not getting you up. And so I saw it. I said, ooh, the lion does not need to be pushed. The lion does not need anything external. That thing that it needs is inside. And so every single day, the lion wakes up and he runs and chases the gazelle. Why? Because he realizes that if he is to survive, if his kids are to survive, he must eat.
Find the gap. Don't complain. Don't murmur. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions. Average people use their time to whine and complain. Average people say it's their boss' fault, it's their mother's fault, it's their average people. I used to be average. I used to say, when is my daddy coming to get me? When is my biological father gonna come in my life? And while I would talk like that, I ended up getting kicked out of school. And while I talk like that, I ended up being homeless. And while I talk like that, I was broke. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you, but you can go to the library and get yourself. You can start reading books. You can go back to school. You can start coming to conferences. And I went from an average way of talking and behaving to taking ownership and saying, yo, E, it's your fault. You 8%. You the 8% or the 92%. We gonna get it out of you. We gonna get it out of you. On 3, we gonna get it out of you. When you leave this room, you will take full ownership. And the reason why I say it's my fault, even when it's not my fault, because when I say it's your fault, I give you power. I give you control over my life. And I will never give another human control over my life. It's my fault. It's my problem. I'm coming up with the solution for it. It's my fault. It's my problem. It's my solution. I'm taking ownership. Come on, say it with me. I'm taking ownership. Come on, I'm taking ownership. Come on, I'm taking ownership.
You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it. But when it's showtime, when the sun comes up, you've got all the books, you've got all the tapes, you've got all the access. Now it's time to hunt. And what separates you from everybody else is that when it's time to hunt, you're ready to hunt. For some of you, when you do what you do, you act as if you have another opportunity. Every opportunity is the last opportunity. You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it, but when it's showtime, when the sun comes out, you've got all the books, you've got all the tapes, you've got all the access. Now it's time to hunt.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. But if life's got you down, I need you to get up and prove them wrong.
Now listen to me. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you're not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you waking up, you still in the game. As long as you alive, you can still make it happen. As long as that breath in your nostrils boot, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up.
You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse. You've given yourself room not to do it. I'm not speaking no more to entertain. I'm not speaking to help people. I'm speaking so my girl never have to go back to work again. I'm speaking so that the MS don't kill her. I got a different drive. I got a different why. I got to make this $1.8 million so my girl can quit for the rest of her life. I'm taking all gigs. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And the problem with some of you in this room, you don't have no drive. You ain't got nothing pushing you. You ain't got no reason for waking up in the morning. You ain't got no reason for pushing past that pain. You have no reason. You better find one before you get out of here today.
And I'm telling you right now, because I care about you. I'm telling you right now because I've been there. I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. You've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh. You put too much in it to quit now. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. But this is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow ain't no such thing as tomorrow. What does your dream look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? If you want it to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. If you want it to happen, rise and grind. Some of y'all are so caught up on the game that you don't get it. It is in practicing. It is in the installing. It is in lifting weights. It is in resting. It is in eating right. It is in making good decisions that you look a certain way.
True hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter's goal is to hunt. That's what they live for. They live to hunt. It's the whole process.